Cycle 3, day 3. What we have today, just like every day 3 in this entire program, we're gonna start with some skill work. You got 15 minutes to work on your snatch. This is a technique portion of the program. This is not adding weight, trying to set any PRs or break any records. We're working on perfect form with our snatch. This week is hang power snatch. I'm not saying you can't add weight. If you feel good with this, if you have experience with snatching, if it feels comfortable, then add some weight. We do wanna progress in this program, but the primary goal of this portion of the day is to build the technique and the skill, and the capacity to do the movement.
Okay, yeah, I got a lot going on. Whole lot of
Hey, you know what they say, Olympic lifting, it's way too dangerous for normal people. False. What's dangerous for people is bad coaching and ego loading. Olympic lifting is some of the most valuable training we can do, but the problem is that we want to go from 0 to 100 really quick because it's a cool, athletic, technical movement. So once we feel like we know what we're doing, we want to throw as much weight on as we can because it looks cool. And that's what will get you hurt every single time. It's very simple. But bad coaching feeds a person's ego, which ultimately gets people hurt with these movements and causes them to think that they just can't do them. This is true with Olympic lifting and it's true with everything we do. The technique is the currency and adding the weight is what buys it. So what that means is that in order to earn adding weight to the bar in any kind of movement, but especially with the Olympic lifts, we have to have perfect technique. We have to have the money to buy the weight on the bar. That's what it is. We have to have perfect technique. The only way you have perfect technique is if you work on it. Work on it yourself, and then also you have somebody watching you to make sure it's perfect. That can be solved with a camera. Every cycle, we're doing this in Earn the Right early to build that technique, to build that skill, and the capacity to do the movement. We're not ego lifting. We're not doing this for any other reason. We're not trying to add weight or go crazy right now. We're trying to just build competency in the movement to do this perfectly. So if you're by yourself and you don't have somebody to watch you, then take the cues I give you, Google online to find whatever cues make sense to you with the snatch. When you're doing the movement, follow those cues in your head, just like you would with anything else you practice in life. There is a method to the madness. You have a plan of how you're gonna do something. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z to accomplish this task. Think about that in the snatch. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z for my setup, for my pull, for all of it, right? You're thinking about that consciously right now so that we're dialing in that technique to where it becomes second nature and you don't have to think about it because it's already dialed in as a pattern, a repetitive movement in your brain. If you don't have somebody to watch you, then use a camera. Do the movement, think about what you're supposed to do and do it, and then watch it and make sure what you did actually lines up with what you were supposed to do. And if it doesn't look good, then fix it. If you want to send me a video on Instagram or however we can do it, I'm totally down to watch it and give you any feedback. But don't skip these because you think it's too technical and you're gonna get injured. Anything we do in the gym could get us injured if we don't do it correctly. And this is why a lot of people resort to machine because they limit the range of motion and it's a fixed plane. The risk of injury goes down exponentially with the machine, but also so does everything else. Your functionality, your fitness level, your athleticism, all of it goes down with the machine because it's not practical. They're good for accessories and certain things, but they should not be your primary lifting mechanism. I've told you guys this before. I hurt my back on a snatch and deadlift. The reason that I hurt it, we could attribute it to bad coaching because it was a bad program I was following where I was extremely fatigued and then I was doing some heavy snatch. They weren't even heavy, but I was doing some snatch deadlifts at the end of it. There was just no reason for it to be the way that it was, but also my own ego where I knew I should not have been doing them. I was tired, I was spent, but my brain was like, no, you have to get this done and do it now. And then just not setting up correctly and hurt my back. But the moral of that story is that I'm not done snatching. I didn't stop snatching. As soon as I get back in the gym, I immediately started working on technique and form again. And I'm still doing them. Why? Because they're extremely valuable. So for example, I'm gonna stay at 135 again this week, which is extremely light. Why? Because it does not feel snappy and quick like it should to me. So I'm gonna stay at 135 until it feels perfect and amazing, and then I'll go up. That's the whole purpose of this program, is to regain that efficiency in the movement before we add weight. All right, once we know those snatches, we're gonna jump into a little skill blocks. So every day 3 in this entire program, and this goes on into CHT as well, we work on gymnastic skills. So we try not to make it too crazy, but I think it's very important to have control over your own body. That's essentially what gymnastics movements are. When we did the front lever a couple days ago, it's controlling your own body in a certain range of motion in a plane. It's a very basic thing, but it's extremely valuable and overlooked. So this week we're gonna do pegboard. So if you don't have a pegboard, if your gym doesn't have a pegboard, which most of them don't, why? Because they're afraid people will get hurt. Everyone's afraid of liability for everything, and I get it, but they're valuable. Find a gym, man, that has a pegboard, has these things, because they're extremely valuable. But if you can't, if you don't, it is what it is. If you have a rope, then just do some seated, like legless rope climbs. So the practice on the pegboard this week is gonna be hand over hand, ascent and descent. So a legless rope climb, you're essentially doing the same thing if you can do that. If you don't have a rope, then you'll just throw like a rope cable attachment over a pull-up bar, and then you would just do pull-ups with alternating your head side to side on that pull-up bar. Our goal is just to accumulate perfect reps. So I'll do as many pegboards as I can do comfortably without overtaxing myself. I shouldn't break on any of these sets. It should feel comfortable and doable the entire time. So however much rest I need to do that, and get as many as I can in about 8 to 10 minutes.
A whole lot of what you been on. Cause a commotion, ain't got time to look at my phone. And I've been putting it on. And I've been putting it on.
Next up, we have our conditioning piece for the day. So start with 20 calories on the Echo bike. So jump on an Echo bike, hit 20 calories. You're gonna go hard, not necessarily a sprint, but when you get off that Echo bike, the stimulus is your heart rate should be up, you should be breathing heavy, and you should be tired, kind of dreading to go straight into a lift. And then the idea is to control the weight in a bench press now that you're tired. So get those 17 bench press in, and then we're done with that, jump right into burpees, get our heart rate back up, and get us tired again, hitting 14 burpees as fast as you can with perfect form. Once those burpees are done, we're gonna rest for 60 seconds and then go into the next round. That rest isn't necessarily a full recovery period. It's very short for a reason. It's more of a reset, and our goal is to maintain the same output each round. So we're also learning to pace ourselves at a high output in a workout. Our target is 4 rounds. However, total work period should be about 14 to 16 minutes is what we're aiming for. If 4 rounds takes you 12 minutes, then go for a 5th. If you're faster than that, then go for a 6th. However many rounds it takes to get that time frame in of actual work. Now don't go so slow that you only have to do 3 rounds because it took you 5 minutes per round. That's not the stimulus. The intent is 14 to 16 minutes at this output. So the goal isn't simply trying to get that many minutes of working done in this workout. It's that many minutes of working at this stimulus. So maintain the intent. The rounds are gonna be dependent on your fitness level and how long it takes you to do each round.
Okay, yeah, I got a lot going on. Whole lot of motion, a whole lot of what you been on. Cause a commotion, ain't got time to look at my phone. And I've been putting it on. And I've been putting it on. Okay, yeah, I got a lot going on. Whole lot of motion, a whole lot of what you...
Whew, man, that was actually kind of brutal. I didn't expect that to be as tough as it was today. Once you get to about 12 to 15 minutes of total work, you should start to feel it. It should be difficult. That last set for me sucked. Like the bike was just a drag. The bench was also a drag, getting those reps in, and the burpees sucked. So that was good. And that was right at about 15 minutes. I think I went to 16 minutes total. I did 6 rounds. My fastest one was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I went too hard out the gate. And my slowest one was 3 minutes total. So I climbed like a pyramid. I went 2 minutes, 250, 3 minutes, 245, 240. So I went up and then down. And that is also the stimulus of trying to pace yourself. So this is kind of like a threshold workout. You're right at the max pace that you can sustain for this time period, for this time frame. So it's tough, man. It's not supposed to be easy. And before you go whining like, oh, Alex, we did upper body yesterday. Oh, I'm tired. My shoulders are tired. That's a stimulus, man. It's 35% of your bench max. It's light. It should feel heavy to you. Like 17 reps, the last, I don't know, probably the last 5 should feel difficult. But you should not break on the bench press set. I don't know why I keep saying deadlift. You should not break on the bench press. It's all mental, in my opinion. For this, because of the weight, you're gonna get a gnarly pump in your chest and in your shoulders because you're working push-pull on the Echo bike to a small extent, and then you're benching with a moderate weight for a high number of reps, and then you're going straight into a burpee, which is essentially partially a push-up and a pike off of the floor. Like, you are working your upper body the entire time. So you're supposed to feel a pump. That is the stimulus, that's the goal. That's the desired outcome of the workout, is for you to have a gnarly pump in your upper body, to work your lungs and your entire body all at the same time. If you need to drop those dumbbell weight on the bench, you can do so, but please don't do that unless you absolutely cannot do it without breaking. The first 2 sets, dude, this is true for me. I don't know if it's true for everybody, but every time I run, the first mile, the first 2 miles suck. Like, they feel really difficult, heavy, like not comfortable. And those are the ones where I think about quitting. It's never mile like 6, 7, 8 where I think about quitting. That's where I feel good and want to keep going. It's always the first couple miles where I'm like, ugh, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I can do this. Today's a bad day. I'm obviously not feeling good. It's every single run. It's the same thing with me on some sets, and especially in conditioning. It's like that first set or 2, for whatever reason, is always more difficult. But then you do it by set 3, 4, 5. It's like, okay, I'm in the groove now. I know this is difficult. I know I can do it, and you just send it. So don't let your mind win in those early sets. You have a plan, you have a goal, stick to it. You can rest with 35% of your max above your chest in a locked out position in between sets. Like, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna break. If you end up going to failure on a set, that's a different story. But then again, failure is also not what people think it is. So anyway, that's my rant on that. Stick with the weight, stay with it. That's a desired outcome. It's supposed to be hard. Workouts are supposed to be difficult. If you want to just coast in a workout and have fun with your buddies, then go to the little gym around the corner where they do that for 45 minutes. Then they all high five and give each other hugs and leave for the day. You know, that's not the business I'm in, man. That isn't gonna make what I'm trying to do here happen. I used the analogy at the beginning of the workout where I said the technique is the currency and adding load is the one that pays for it, right? So it's like, if I had money in my hand, that would be the technique, and then I would be the load that pays for it. So I would be the one that then pays with the technique. You have to have the technique though, or else I can't buy it with the load. Workouts like this, moments where you don't want to do it, it's hard, it's difficult, you want to quit, and you're like, oh, this isn't worth it. That's the currency. That's where the money's made. That's what that saying means, man. This is where the money's made, because later in life, you never know, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, something's gonna call upon me to pay for something. If I don't have the currency, I ain't gonna pay for it, right? So if someone needs my help and I didn't put the work in to get the currency to pay for that to help you, I'm not going to help you. I don't have what it takes. I don't have the money to pay for that. It's the same concept. It's like I think it's Josh Bridges that uses the analogy of rent's due, so you pay the man every day. It's that same concept, man. This is our currency. We're earning our money every day. But if you don't earn the money, you can't pay the rent. Same concept. So it's just a way to put it in terms, man. Think about those things while you're working out, and it helps you get through it. And then, man, just think about how blessed you are to work out, to have the ability to do what you're doing. This is a blessing to be able to put the work in to make yourself better so you can help other people. Like that's such a blessing that you have the ability to do that. So think about it the right way. Don't come in here thinking like, oh man, this sucks. Something do I have to do? That's total wrong attitude, and that's step one, is to break that, and then we'll build upon it. Now, once you're done with that piece though, we're gonna jump into our last thing for the day. So for the 90-minute cap, you should have about 20 minutes left, maybe you have about 10 to 15. Use that last bit of time you have to hit zone 2 cardio. So just jump back on the bike. Obviously we're building those zone 2 minutes, but it's also gonna help you recover from this workout and to flush everything out. Do not lay on your back immediately after this workout because you are so tired. Today's one of those days where it hurt for me to be on my hands and knees and I wanted to go to my back. Don't do it, man. It's a comfort thing. I've talked about it before. You look at dogs, man, what do dogs do when they realize they're gonna lose a fight? They fall to their back and they expose their vulnerabilities, right? It's a mental thing, man, that you have to break in your mind. How you do the little things is how you do everything, and that is a little thing that it makes a lot of people mad to say that, but it's a reality, dude. Everything matters. The little things matter as much as the big things. Don't fall to your back. Stay on your hands and knees if you have to. And suffer through that pain, man. You'll be stronger for it. And then, 5 minutes in or whatever, if you didn't want to roll on your back, kick your legs up because you feel like you need to flush that out of your legs, then go for it. But definitely don't do it out the gate. Make yourself fight through it for a few minutes and then do whatever you want. 1 Corinthians 14:40, let all things be done decently and in order. Very basic statement, but very powerful at the same time. Guys, we should become masters of what we do. That should be the goal that we strive for every day. And mastery is doing the little things correctly. There's a saying that practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice does. The basics matter more than anything. Man, when I used to play football, the most valuable plays in football are what? They're your bread and butter plays. Those are the things that are gonna win you championships. So what do we spend the most time on? We spend the most time on our bread and butter plays. So the same thing in life and in training, focus on the basics. How you do the little things is how you do everything. So focus on the basic fundamentals every single day and do those with expert mastery and precision, and you'll be all right when the time comes down the road where you have to use the skills you've been building. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your level of training. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 4.